One, two, three, count them, 3 types of apple soda from Taiwan. Hey everyone, welcome back to Obscure Cola. Today we have our first ever head-to-head comparison soda video, and this time it's apple. So I am in Taiwan, and these are 3, well, not locally produced, but 3 locally sold Taiwanese apple sodas. So let's just introduce them and I'll sort of explain what's going on as we go. So first of all, this is the big boy. This is the apple Sidra, my favorite.
Oh, hi, Sidra. Hi.
Taiwanese drink, I think. And in Chinese, it's basically Pingguo Shida. So it literally is apple soda. And so, yeah, it is a locally made but sold in other countries brand of basically carbonated apple juice. In the second spot, we have the Minute Maid apple soda. And so, yeah, basically this is that brand you know and love, owned by Coca-Cola, and they've decided to go into the carbonated apple juice branch besides just their normal fruit punches and apple juices and orange juices. So Minute Maid now is bringing it. And then here we have the dark horse, I guess you could say. This is literally just called apple soda, and it says apple flavored soda drink. So yeah, not too imaginative in the English or the Chinese. And this is the brand, I guess, and I don't even know how to say that. It's like fruit, guoyong, I think is how it's pronounced, but I don't even know what it means. I'll put it up on the screen. My Chinese is not that great. So yeah, it's basically a generic, the brand is actually called Uni-President in English, and the Chinese basically translates to the same thing. So I don't know what the brand is other than it says pecos.co.tw. So that's the other URL. Maybe this is called Pecos apple soda. Let's just call it Pecos apple soda. So anyway, Sidra, Minute Maid, Pecos. So I thought, let's kill 3 birds with 1 stone and just do all of these as one video instead of doing 3 separate videos. So I'm using my wide angle lens on my iPhone. Sorry if my head's a little distorted, but it's a little bit easier to film this way since I got 3 times the amount of soda. So anyway, this one I know very well and I like it. So I'll start with this one and then I'll compare how these two look and taste. So look-wise, obviously you can tell they're very similar. This is actually lighter. The label maybe changes the way it looks, but it's definitely lighter, right? This one, nice and golden. This one, identical, almost looks like a beer. Oh, nice. But one of the things I like about Taiwan is the humidity is good here, so you can do stuff like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's like making a nice little smoke halo. It smells like apple. Tastes like apple. This one has 10% apple juice, or 10% fruit juice, I guess you could say, and without chemical colors. So this should be the real deal. It actually says that it has, the ingredients are water, in English, water, fructose, cane sugar, apple flavor, natural apple concentrate juice, yada yada, some caramel color. So it's not pure apple color, it's also caramel in there to make it a little bit darker, I guess. But the key thing is it says fructose and not high fructose corn syrup. So is that just the same thing, or is it actually a different kind of fructose syrup? So not corn syrup, but maybe some sort of other syrup. I should note in Chinese and Japanese, the term for high fructose corn syrup is actually high. It's basically uses the word grape. Even if it's not made from grapes, it has the characters for grapes in it. So you can also make high fructose corn syrup from high fructose grape syrup. I don't know. But anyway, somehow that's the same translation, even though there's no corn. Okay, so that tastes good. Of course, I like it. Very familiar with it. Which one should I compare next? Let's try the Minute Maid. Go for big corporate. So, of course, Minute Maid owned by Coca-Cola. So this is a Coca-Cola company. Yeah, definitely lighter and not nearly as good of a carbonation thing. Still get some vapors out of there. But yeah, this is also a smaller bottle, I think. Also says 10% real fruit juice. This one actually says it's got Japanese honey in it. So it should taste different. And on the label, you can actually see there's honey in there. So even though it's just labeled in English apple soda, it's apparently got some honey on top. which, can I taste it? Yeah, I guess I can taste it. Definitely tastes different. There's some extra stuff going on. Maybe it's also different, probably different apples too. I don't necessarily taste the honey though. If you didn't tell me there was honey in here, I wouldn't be able to tell. But of course it's Minute Maid, it should be competent. It's definitely not bad. But somehow I think I still prefer the Sidra. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna put in my clip. Whenever I mention Sidra, I always play that Terry Hatcher clip from Seinfeld about they're real and they're magnificent.
And by the way, they're real and they're spectacular.
But anyway, so yeah, this one does not have English ingredients on it because this one they export, so I guess they just bothered to print it on there. In this case, it just says Gaoguotang. Yeah, so this one has high fructose corn syrup, I think. Yeah, not too bad, but the honey's a little too light. Okay, now let's go for the dark horse, the no-namer, the Uni-President, the Pecos apple soda. Also a little harder to open, but a good pop, good vapors. I should note, so these two were actually 600 milliliters, and this is only 500 milliliters, so these are like giant size. And I think price-wise, pretty similar. Smells similar to the Sidra. Taste, very similar. Not bad. If I was blindfolded, I would probably not be able to tell the difference. I'm guessing. Let me try one more flavor, one more taste. So yeah, let me try one more before I switch back and compare. Definitely tastes very similar. As if like the guy who used to work at Sidra quit and decided to go work for Uni-President and he like stole the formula. Let's try this one again. Okay, now I switch directly back. I can tell some difference. I know this is probably really horrible from like a wine tasting point of view. Okay, this one is waterier. Somehow, in not necessarily a bad way, but it's just a little bit smoother because it's not as much bite. This one is like more stuff in every drink, in every mouthful. It's almost like a little bit more spicy, but not really spicy in like a spicy way, but like a little bit more has flavor in it, has spice in it, put it that way. Not that it actually has any listed on here, but somehow maybe the apple juice concentrate or citric acid is higher, I don't know, whatever, but it feels like it's doing more. This is definitely more watery. So, what do I think? Now here comes the comparison part. Normally I do like a final verdict. Should I mention the sugar content? Let me mention the sugar content while I'm on there and I'm looking at all three labels at once. So this one of the problems in Taiwan is they don't break it down per 100 milliliters in every case, I believe. So for example, this one does break it down by 100 milliliters because they export it. So for the sugars, it's 9.7 grams per 100 milliliters. That's not too bad. A Coke in Hong Kong is 10.6. I believe in Japan is also, and Japan is 11.3, Taiwan also 10.6 or 10.7 or something like that. So less sugar, 10% less sugar than a Coke, not too bad. For this one, I don't know if having the extra honey would make it better or worse. This one is a little bit harder because it's not broken down per 100 milliliters. It basically says the amount of sugar per serving is 19.8 grams, and one serving is 250 grams. So in other words, if you divided 19.8 by 2.5, what number do you get? Boom, that's what it is. So it's, what, 8? Something like that? Yeah, basically 8. So it's actually less sugar, maybe because the natural sweetness of the honey somehow is powerful enough you need less sugar to make it sweet, or because the drink itself is less sweet. Let's try it again one more time since it's been a while. Yeah, I guess it tastes less sweet. It's a little more tart. Okay, but yeah. Okay, so 9.7, something like 8. This guy, on the other hand, also does, this one actually breaks down by 100 milliliters, and it says 11.4. So significantly higher. Yeah, that's more than 10% higher than this one. And way more than that one, 30% more. So it doesn't taste that sweet, maybe because it's watery too. But the numbers don't lie, I hope. Yeah, so not bad, but high in sugar, relatively high, like literally worse than a Coke in this case. Worse than even a Japanese Coke, which is high. So worse than a Hong Kong Coke, worse than a Taiwan Coke. You wouldn't think so. And then also, by the way, this is a 600 milliliter bottle, so you're actually drinking more of it and getting more sugar per pound for pound. So, okay, if I'm going to give a ranking on this one and my final verdict, I'm going to say number 3, the Pecos Uni-President apple soda, just because it's not that healthy and it doesn't particularly taste awesome. Not bad, but a little watery. Second place, the big boy from the USA, the Maid apple soda with some secret Japanese honey in it that doesn't really taste that much. Actually kind of healthy, only 8 grams. I don't see any artificial sweetener in the ingredients too, now that I think about it. So that's actually good too. Not fake. I would have tasted it probably if there was. So it's a number 2 because a little bit healthier, not that great tasting, but not bad. And last but not least, -1 point for not putting the nutritional information in terms of 100 milliliter increments. Okay, so that's just me as a reviewer being picky. Okay, last up, we have our Sidra in the top position, number 1. Yes, congratulations, Sidra. You are always my personal champion. I guess I'm biased because I already like this one, but especially doing side-to-side comparison, if I saw these in the thing, I'd say, oh, let's buy that one. It's slightly bigger, and it actually, no, it's not bigger. They're both 600, right? Oh, surprise, surprise. This one actually is 600. This one is actually 560. So looks bigger. The bottle is taller. Do side by side. So the bottle has more volume, but the drink itself slightly less, perhaps. I think like diameter-wise, they're pretty much the same. So actually, this one's fatter too. So it's taller, but slightly fat. Oh, it's fatter here, but not fatter here. That's what it is. Bottom line, let's just wrap it up because I'm rambling. We're going to go 3, 2, and here on the top podium, number 1, Apple Sidra champion, in my mind at least, of the apple sodas of Taiwan. If you guys have any questions or comments or feedback, if you love Sidra as much as I love Sidra.
And by the way, they're real and they're spectacular.
Please let me know if you're a big Minute Maid hardcore fan from overseas. Pipe in the comment section. If you're a Uni-President otaku who really loves his Goyang apple soda, do let me know in the comments. I guarantee no one's a big fan of this. It's too generic. But this guy, real deal. Okay, that's it for today. See you guys next time. Bye. Everyone, welcome back to Obscure Cola. Today we're going to try Coca-Cola Apple. I'm here with my son in Japan. Just got this at a Family Mart today. Apparently, Coca-Cola